It's Sunday morning, I think. My room is dark. My head is throbbing. I have a knot in my stomach. Nausea mixed with anxiety. Ugh, why did I take all those tequila shots last night? Why do I feel like I need to apologize to my best friend? Again. I promised myself, just like I did last Sunday, that going forward, things will be different. No more shots. I am done feeling like this when I wake up. Week after week, I made these Sunday morning promises to myself, only to break them by Friday night. I just couldn't let go of alcohol. It played a huge role in my life, both socially and professionally. I was afraid that if I quit drinking, I would feel different from everyone else, or that I wouldn't be seen as part of the group. Yet, I knew I had to make a change. After years of struggling to keep my Sunday morning promises, I finally sought support to quit drinking last summer. And trust me, that was a change for the better. I'm sure many of you may relate to my story. It's not that dramatic, just a bunch of ugly Sunday mornings. But even so, I found quitting drinking really hard. In the early days, I couldn't go to bars or be around people drinking alcohol. And I'd say I still had an easier time than a lot of people. For those with more ingrained addiction, it can be nearly impossible to quit drinking. And if you are able to quit, you face a world that too often revolves around alcohol. Getting sober has helped me understand that keeping alcohol in such a prevalent role in society disadvantages and excludes those who don't drink. Whether people abstain due to pregnancy, religious beliefs, recovery, or personal preference, we are creating a divide that keeps many non-drinkers out of our most important conversations. This exclusion, whether intentional or not, means we're missing out on the valuable, untapped perspectives of many of these people. And we are not talking about a small group of people here. In fact, alcohol.org, a subsidiary of American Addiction Centers, estimates that 30% of US adults don't consume any alcohol. And this number continues to rise as millennials become more and more health conscious. There's even a new trend taking hold called the sober curious movement. With the non-drinking portion of the population on the rise, now is the time for us to figure out how to include everyone in our business and social interactions. The first thing we can do is change our events. Many networking events today take place at bars. Given my history, a bar with unlimited alcohol is not an appealing place for me to meet people. For instance, earlier this year, I was at a GSB networking event. I was walking around in circles without a drink, desperately trying to find the courage to join a group to chat with. And let me tell you, going up to groups of strangers at a 400-person event with no social lubricant is really hard. Every time I tried to join in with someone new, they would try to hand me a drink or ask about why I wasn't drinking. And for the people I was talking to, well, at the end of the night, a lot of them weren't making any sense. For me, the experience was miserable. I dreaded going to future events, but knew I had to, or risk missing out on the connections and relationships that stem from many of these interactions. And in these situations, I'm one of the lucky ones. I can still tolerate going to these events, even if I'd prefer not to. My voice is still heard. But many non-drinkers aren't so lucky and will miss out on key opportunities by staying away from alcohol-focused events in the name of self-care. We can start to level the playing field for non-drinkers by thinking about alternative alcohol-free ways for us to meet and interact with one another. Planning a hike or a cooking class as a team event in lieu of a happy hour is all it takes to start increasing inclusivity. The next thing we can do is think about the alternatives we offer. It should be just as easy to find a soda as it is to find a gin and tonic. Keeping non-drinkers limited to just water or whatever mixers are on hand, while everyone else gets to choose from a plethora of alcoholic options, sends a signal that non-drinkers are an afterthought, or worse, weren't thought of at all. And I don't know about you, but when I feel like an afterthought time and time again, I stop showing up. If we don't show non-drinkers that they're welcome, they'll stop coming to our events. Luckily, coming up with alternatives is a really easy way to have a big impact. Earlier this year, all of us MBA ones participated in the Executive Challenge. It was a full-day competition that culminated in a squad celebration and a class-wide cocktail hour. As I walked to the room where my squad would be having our post-competition powwow, I felt dread take over me as I heard pops of champagne coming from every single room around me. Great, I thought, another time where I'll be the only person not drinking. I begrudgingly walked to my team room, only to see my squad fellows sitting there with a huge smile and a bottle of sparkling grape juice. My mood immediately changed. I didn't feel like an afterthought or an outsider. What was a small gesture from him completely changed the way I saw my role in the group. Changing our events and our alternatives are just two ways that we can start to have an impact. But we can have an even bigger impact by changing our dialogue around alcohol. About a month after I got sober, I met some friends for brunch in San Francisco. We sat down at our table, and a waiter came over to walk us through the menu. When he got to the drinks section, he joked, "If you're here to have a good time, here are the cocktails. If you're no fun, here are the mocktails." A month earlier, I would have thought the joke was cute. But in that moment, it almost reduced me to tears. I was upset about having to quit drinking. I was feeling really different from my friends who could all drink normally. I felt alone due to my inability to participate in a favorite group pastime. I didn't even know who I was as a sober person. In just one sentence, that waiter managed to put my worst fears into words. Now that I wasn't drinking, I feared I'd be no fun. Later that same day, a friend at dinner started to make a toast. I raised my glass of water, hoping to go unnoticed. However, I was quickly chastised. Cheersing with water is bad luck. I've thought a lot about why I drank, about why it was so hard for me to keep my Sunday morning promises. For a while, alcohol was fun. It helped me feel confident when inside I was self-conscious. But most importantly, it helped me feel like part of the group. But all those illusions started to fall away as I lost control over my relationship with alcohol. For me, drinking is no longer fun. We need to change the narrative around what is normal and fun when it comes to alcohol use. Making someone feel abnormal or like they're no fun because they're not drinking is not okay. A good rule of thumb, keep your comments about drinking and not drinking to yourself. And if you hear someone making a comment that might make a non-drinker uncomfortable, I encourage you to be the one to step in and make it right. We here at the GSB have a special responsibility to make a change. As future leaders, society will look to each of us as role models. We can start to make a change today by changing our events, our alternatives, and our dialogue around alcohol. So with that, I'd like to raise a toast with water, because it is not bad luck, to each of us here today. Each of us has the power to leave this room and make a difference, both here at the GSB and beyond. So cheers to changing the future, to creating environments where both drinkers and non-drinkers can thrive. Thank you.